Conservative commentator and professional crybaby Ben Shapiro was trending on Twitter this week for making an impressively stupid observation about COVID. In response to this video of 75 doctors in South Florida walking out in protest as their hospital is flooded with unvaccinated COVID patients, Ben tweeted, "If this is the new standard, that failure to take measures to alleviate your own health problems are punishable by doctors refusing treatment, the extension of this logic to obesity will certainly be something." People in the replies to Ben's tweet were quick to point out the holes in Ben's logic, particularly two things. First, that obesity is not a communicable disease that patients can potentially pass on to doctors and other hospital staff. And second, there is no free, readily available vaccine for obesity. Great job there, Ben. This is hardly the first time Mr. Facts and Logic has said something foolish or outrageous. In fact, he has quite a rich history of making statements that are completely illogical.
So let's say, for the sake of argument, that all of the water levels around the world rise by let's say 5 feet over the next 100 years, say 10 feet by the next 100 years, and it puts all the low-lying areas on the coast underwater, right? Which, let's say all of that happens. You think that people aren't going to just sell their homes and move?
Ah, yes, because there is a huge demand for underwater real estate. Hopefully it's not too late for Ben to get a refund from Harvard. I'm Rayvana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Ben Shapiro and his right-wing news website, The Daily Wire, are the top viewed sources of news on Facebook every day. I'm sure this is because of his bulletproof arguments and has nothing to do with the private dinners he has with the Facebook founder and CEO, Mark Zuckerberg.
Everybody's going to get infected. Look, there are only two paths here. One is you get vaccinated, you get immune that way. The other is you get COVID and you get immune that way. Everybody now gets to choose. That's called being an adult.
Ben Shapiro life hack: you can get immunity from COVID by dying of the disease. And who can forget that time Ben was upset with the New York City mayoral candidates for not saying that if elected, they would ban crime. You know, that thing that is famously not banned and totally legal. Or what about the time Ben tweeted an old quote from Bernie Sanders about socialism and food lines, along with a picture of Bernie buying groceries, implying that buying groceries makes Bernie a fake socialist? Ridiculousness of the implication about socialism aside, the quote from Bernie was fake, and the picture is not even Bernie Sanders. But Ben isn't just wrong, he's offensive, and sometimes he's downright bigoted. He's also proven that he can't handle even mild criticisms of his hateful ideologies, even if that criticism is coming from other conservatives.
Israelis like to build. Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage.
The next few tweets clarify that tweet is specifically referring to the Hamas leadership, which, by the way, a BBC I've seen is relatively reticent to condemn.
No, actually, it wasn't what you went on to do and say, you are correct about the slur on Arabs. It's not all Arabs that want to live in open sewage and blow things up. It's just Palestinians. You went on to say.
It says the ones who take sides against Israel in the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
Population is rotten to the core, you went on to say. Not Hamas, the Palestinian Arab population.
I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer, so I think we're done here. I appreciate.
Ben Shapiro's ideas are not new. They are not popular. They certainly are not intelligent. And he can't even hold up against light pushback. So ask yourself, how is he consistently favored by the Facebook algorithm? Why is he considered an intellectual leader of the right? And why on earth did the New York Times call this guy the cool kids philosopher?
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Make that pullout game weak. I will admit that when I first saw the lyrics to this song, my first concern, as a sympathetic and empathetic human being, my first concern is that these women are describing a serious gynecological condition.